It was Taylor who defeated Marx and Marxism. Taylor's principles not only tremendously increased output, it made possible increasing working wages while at the same time cutting prices and thereby increasing demand for it. So this is a heck of a thing this guy did. But how did he do this? Because let's take a look at the culture of manufacturing when Frederick Taylor went into a plant. There was these people called craftsmen. How did you become a craftsman in those days? Well, you might have entered at the age of 10 or 12, and you became next to the craftsman, and for 10 years probably got no pay whatsoever, but you did all the grunt work the craftsman wanted you to do, and you watched. And then maybe for a few years you became an apprentice, and then you became a craftsman. And it's interesting, in those days, a craftsman, a couple things. First of all, I could have a craftsman next to me, and I could be a craftsman working on the exact same thing, but he used different tools than I used. And he bent that boiler a different way than I did it, because we were both craftsmen. We both knew how to do it our way. Not only that, this is where the term came, rule of thumb. Said in those days they had rulers without lines, because a craftsman could measure by the rule of thumb and didn't need a ruler. So think of that culture, and in comes young Frederick Taylor out of college, and all he had was a stopwatch and a clipboard. And he'd walk up to these craftsmen and say, hey, look, I'm gonna make your job easier, I'm gonna make you more efficient. Because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna measure you, I'm gonna time you, I'm gonna track what you do and how you do it, and I'm gonna make you better. Guess what happened to him? How many times he got kicked out of plants? Not only that, ended up in hospitals. One time at Midvale, the steel workers walked out of the plant. In those days, they didn't have labor unions, so the police forced them back in, and they broke all the equipment. So, question is, when you put a culture in place, how much pushback will you deal with? Frederick Taylor said it took three to 4 years to get enough data to start creating a whole new culture of manufacturing, which changed our world, which made America totally different because of what he did. So, question, how much pushback will you do to put in what I'm going to tell you to put in? And the second question is, do you have a rule of thumb sales culture? Do we have salespeople going, yeah, I think this is going to close this week. I got it. See, a lot of you here that have been working with Sandler for many years have actually been fighting this and putting your own culture in place. You've been changing your sales culture, so I applaud you.
Thank you for watching this highlight video from the Sandler Summit. You can join us for the next Sandler Summit in 2024, March 19th and 20th at the Orlando World Center Marriott. Register now at sandler.com/summit.